Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Monday, March 25th, 2024. Good morning, happy Manny's Day, and of course, happy full moon, because that time is once again upon us. Our astrology for today, we have the sun in Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing courage. The moon is a second quarter Libra, a cardinal air representing courtesy. Our full moon, its peak occurred at 2 a.m. Central Time, but not to worry, we can still have our celebrations this evening. Easy peasy. We won't be missing out on anything. Mercury is in Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing alertness. Venus is in Pisces, mutable water, representing compassion. Mars is in Pisces, mutable water, representing curiosity. Jupiter is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, mutable water sign representing imagination. Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. So, of course, the moon is full. So, this is the time of transformation and manifestation. So, definitely keep that in mind in all of your doings, especially your rituals tonight, because it is a liberal full moon. Think about awakening yourself to opportunities, practicing clarity, objectivity, and flexibility as the circumstances require today. Release any obstacles you face, trust your intuition, and just have confidence in going forward. Use your mind as well as your heart today to make sure that you are having as full of you and that you are making a proper assessment of all things. Now, it's also nice having a full moon on the day of the moon. The moon is shining, it's full, and it's absolute glory and power. It is time to bring that which has been within us, the intentions and the work that we've done to cultivate those intentions, bring them to the surface, release those, make it happen, utilize your power. This is just absolutely lovely. I love it when the full moon falls on Mondays. It's just so perfect. Can't beat it. Now, our tarot card for today is the Empress, appropriate enough, because, of course, that is also very symbolic of the full moon. The Empress card in the tarot, of course, belongs to the major arcana, so think long-lasting, far-reaching effects. It is the third card in the tarot, representing the first stage of completion. Think keywords: the goddess, motherhood, caregiving. And as you can see, the figure in the card, it's obviously in a condition of a fairly advanced pregnancy, and that's really what the full moon is all about, magically as well. It is that moment before birth. It is that coming to fruition moment. It is a very deep, feminine, primal kind of energy. So absolutely use this to your advantage today. So today, our Celtic triad reads: three things pleasant to see: an unhappy person becoming happy, a miser becoming generous, and the lawless submitting to authority. So we do live in an age that tends to glorify misery. Daring to be happy is an act of sheer rebellion, and it is sad to see people who they cling to their pain because it gives them some kind of social status. And again, that's because of the glorification, the romanticization, and prioritizing suffering as opposed to the recovery from suffering. And it is throwing away victory with both hands when you do that. So do, if you have been struggling with unhappiness, do try to at least begin to practice happiness, embrace the happiness you do experience, look for the good, look for things that you actually do genuinely enjoy. That also helps fight away the feelings that have been tamping you down, and it can set you free from the bondage of the people who like the misery and they want plenty of company. So you do not have to set yourself up for that. Now, in reference to the miser, the thing I thought about was Mr. Scrooge from Christmas Carol finally learning his lesson and learning that there is, as important as it is to use our resources wisely and, conserve them when it is appropriate. It isn't about, just keeping them all to ourselves all of the time. We gain our resources, whether it's financial, mental, emotional, or some other skill that we have. We accumulate these things so that we can put them to use. These things are tools, and the use that we put them towards it, it is a revealing of our character. What do we care about? What do we think is important? Something to think about there. And then, of course, about the lawless submitting to authority, we have a lot of rebels without causes. And then, when you occasionally see someone in that condition, they're in rebellion just because, not in anything particular. They can't really define what's wrong. They're just not going to go along with everybody else because they're not going to. And they're completely leaving out the calculation of whether or not what other people are doing is fitting, proper, and beneficial. Now, if it isn't, then of course you must rebel. It's your duty as a moral agent to rebel against things that are bad or things that are detrimental to you. But if it's just rebellion for the sake of rebellion, it is a great step forward to reform their character, to let go of this, do something useful, and to save that rebellious energy for when it's actually called for. Next up are magical correspondences centered on the intention of loneliness, specifically easing loneliness. This is very much your let's get better pep talk for the week. The color is gray, the plant is lavender, the animal is the swallow, and the stone is chrysoprase. We do not have to accept isolation. We do not have to accept being the outsider forever. We just don't have to be completely atomized and alone. There are times when withdrawing and enjoying your own company and being content with that is good and even healthy. But to be completely detached from the rest of your own species, that isn't reasonable. That isn't healthy. That has never led to a good outcome for people. So, if you are needing to rebalance yourself in this particular way, these might be some correspondences that would be helpful to you. So, for our pagan practice today, of course, perform your full moon ritual and enjoy it. You can also contemplate the effect that the moon has upon the tides of your soul. We know all about the physical effects that the moon has upon the tides of the ocean and water in general. But think about, how it is the tide of your soul, or even the tide of the physical water you have within your body. I think the human body is 75, 80% water. To think that we are not physically feeling the ebb and flow of the moon, I don't think that's really reasonable. We're just not always particularly conscious of it. So think about that a little bit and see where those contemplations take you. This is a good day to cleanse your home, especially if you're having your full moon ritual in your home, or in your yard. Consider this to be part of your preparation. Make sure there isn't any unwanted energies hanging around. You could choose to drink mint tea to enhance your intuition. And of course, reach out to another practitioner. This is a time of connectivity, and that includes our connectivity to each other. And our journal prompt for today, if you have created a sacred space, particularly, well, if you did create a sacred space, particularly for your moon rituals, what would you want it to look like? What would you want it to feel like? What are the plants you might have around? What crystals do you want to incorporate into things? What kind of altar do you want to have? Let your thoughts run wild. What would really be your ideal space if you had a space that was just for moon rituals? And if you have a pretty solid idea and you have a place where you could bring this into the physical world, this could be a goal for you to pursue. Start bringing that along. You don't have to complete the project at once, but just start it and gradually work on it. And then before you know it, you do have a space that is very much in line with your own desires. Again, we don't have to be deprived. We don't have to, be in this constant mend and make do mentality. We can create things that we love, things that are very useful to us, things that can serve as a spiritual center for our practice. We just have to put forth the effort a lot of the time. So that does it for today's daily forecast. I will, of course, be back tomorrow. Let me know what you thought about all of this in the comments, or send me an email at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com, and we'll have a chat there. But that'll do it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.